helps.
Oh God, feeling nervous. Right, we're live.
And we're live. Welcome to the Founders Chat live show, name pending. The only show with
No,
no
Founders Chat's a
filter,
good name.
no script.
Founders Chat's a great name. Sounds like
And
Founders
only the
Street.
hottest business topics.
Yeah, the title says it
I'm
all.
Alex, and we're here with my co-host Joe, and we've also got a
Yep.
special guest, Mr. Raw.
Nice to be here, Alex, and it's nice to see you again, man. What a journey you're on, by the way.
Yeah, let's start with that. Let's talk about your journey for the Founders Street journey.
That's a separate topic. That's a separate topic because today we've got quite a few hot topics to talk about, and the main one of them being what the hell is happening with LinkedIn?
Oh, I know exactly what happened here. Basically, last year, do you know all the viral LinkedIn creators, the LinkedIn influencers, they gave away that many lead magnets that were comment X word for X viral, like guaranteed viral post. So everyone now has the exact same form, and they just took that lead magnet, put it in ChatGPT. Now every single LinkedIn post has the same formula of what, and that is what went viral in 2024. So everyone just has the same structure of every post. That's why everything feels the same.
Well,
That's
I
one
think
take.
the real no, because the fun part is I've been there almost since the beginning. I think I was user number 86,000.
Yeah, you joined in like 2005 or something.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was crazy. And I've had 5,000 LinkedIn connections throughout for a long, long time. You know, more than I would say 12 years, 15 years. Jesus Christ! And what was beautiful back then was when I wrote something to someone, they answered. I know.
Shocking.
I just want to add something quickly to that, Stefan. Sorry, I'll let you. Right, I just was reviewing. I ran a campaign to outreach to connect with more people from UK, London specifically, and I think I've sent about the whole thing was in the last 6 or 7 months about 2,000 connections, right? More than 60%, 50% or so didn't accept. So out of 2,000, only about 900 accepted. And out of that, I think less than actually 10% replied. So out of 2,000 people, we're talking about 100 conversations.
It's like cold email reply rate, isn't it?
It feels like.
But my assessment is what actually really happened is that Microsoft bought it, and they wanted to scale it out in regards to users instead of because it used to be a business network, networking platform where people actually had real conversations with real people, and I've made I don't even know. I'm not on the wrong side of saying I made more than $20 million on that platform alone throughout my career, just using LinkedIn. So I raised much more money just based on that. And so it has been something really, really authentic value, but Microsoft bought it. Actually, 3 months ago, I wrote an article about it that I shared on LinkedIn that got 2,000 views. A couple of years ago, although I only had 8, 9, 10,000 followers back then, I got 20, 30,000 views on my articles. So what has really gone wrong is that it's not a business networking platform anymore, and that's why I'm not pitching you, Alex. That's why I find it so amazing that you started doing Counter-Street, because, pardon my French, what the fuck is going on? I said yesterday night, thinking just a little bit doom scrolling on Instagram, and I actually said to myself, wow, it's much cooler on Instagram than on LinkedIn, having in mind that 80% of all content on Instagram is AI generated.
Yeah, it's a bit mad, isn't it?
Well, you were mentioning how LinkedIn wants to grow new users yesterday, Alex, and how it can't grow any
I've
more
got
than
some
the user in the
interesting
US.
stats, guys. I've got some interesting stats I digged out. I don't know if I can share them. I think I can. Share screen. Oh, do I need 2 monitors? No, I don't. Right, so this, probably nobody can see that because it's tiny. Let me make it a bit bigger. Right, so this is LinkedIn average user growth over the past few years. And the interesting thing, if you look at like US, UK, the market is almost capped.
Where's Pakistan? You should have put Pakistan into this. I'm pretty sure something.
But here's my prediction. Here's my prediction. If you look at the growth rates, here, right? These countries are capped. If you look at like UK, 47 million. I think probably most of these are actually either fake accounts or people who are not actually in UK, because there's no way that such a big part of the population is actually on the app. So my guess, it's either like duplicate, fakes, bot accounts, all the AI scraper tools, bot networks, the engagement pods, and also everybody's claiming to be in UK where they're probably not.
I think the fake account's a big one, because I know a lot of like other lead gen companies on LinkedIn, especially in the like more chronically online industries like SaaS and AI, they create fake accounts to do multiple account outreach from, which is like an AI photo, and say they work at their company.
So I feel like the US, the UK, the most of the Europe market is essentially capped. There's like growth slowing down. Probably most of the new accounts are fake. Like we said, but
the markets have been saturated.
You know what isn't fake? You know what isn't fake? India, Brazil, and Indonesia is taking over LinkedIn. And if the growth keeps going at this rate, I think by 2028, 80% of the platform will be India. It's going to be like Fiverr.
Yeah, it is.
Which nothing against India. Love you guys.
Well, I have an Indian
but
girlfriend.
It's just being swallowed because they focus on just amount of users, like you said, right? They just want to get the maximum amount of users just to maximize the advertising revenue.
Yeah, they don't care who's on the app, as long as they've got the more people who use the app, not on the app, the more money LinkedIn makes.
Now we're coming to the real part of it. Jeff Weiner, the former CEO, was a very amazing, clever guy who exited the company just as the markets saturated. And they made a lot of billions from Microsoft, and then they hire a new guy and a new management team, and they have to live up to KPIs, as everyone needs to do in any company. And they have to grow revenue, they have to grow users. If not, they get fired. That's how shit works. That's how companies work. Now, you cannot grow a saturated market. You know, you can't fill the cup above the top of the cup. It's impossible.
And I'm not sure if you've noticed. Sorry, go on, Stefan.
No, give it to me, Alex.
I'm not sure if anyone noticed just like the increased rate of, well, they've 10x the cost of email as well. A few months ago, Sales Navigator and Premium went up by 20%, I think.
It was 20 quid, the Sales Nav.
Yeah, it's gone
But
up.
that's natural to do. That's natural to do, especially in a saturated market, because that's the only thing you can skew is the pricing point. At such a late stage as LinkedIn is in, I agree that LinkedIn is a failing platform. And what I see is there's actually no alternative. What you're doing is an alternative for a specific part of the entirety of that 1 billion people. There's not any platform available now. It's just an excuse. Everybody says here you can talk business because you can't talk business on the other platforms, but that's also bullshit. There are a lot of Facebook groups and WhatsApp groups, for that matter, as well, where people talk business and all that. So I simply see LinkedIn now as not as my friend as it used to be, but just as another social media platform.
Yeah, there's another thing that I've mentioned now, the amount of ads on the feed. I did a count earlier today. I scrolled, I think, 30 posts. Every second or third post is an advert now.
Well,
it's a post ad.
They're trying to make money on the 1 billion users, as they're trying to make money on the billion users on Instagram, and the same as TikTok is doing. So that part is fine. I see the real problem is that there is no alternative. I had today because tomorrow, as you know, Alex, I have an event coming up, and I can see the views on my posts. They have now forced me to spend 200 euros on advertising to boost my own post, just to let it to get out to my own network.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I think that's an interesting comment Diego just made in the chat, that LinkedIn is now essentially become a job board for our profiles and almost a advertising channel more so than the business networking platform. And I think that's totally fair.
That's why I'm saying I see it as just another social media platform where I need to be on, because this is where the revenue can come from.
I still use it a lot in my business, obviously, in the spaces that I work in, energy services mainly. That's still an undersaturated market because those guys have just started using social media to promote their business in a least offensive way possible. But they're not like, we were talking about this yesterday, weren't we, Alex? They're not a chronically online business owner who are like selling digital products or SaaS products or something like that, where they've been online for 5-10 years. So in some markets, it can still be used effectively, but in these chronically online ones, it's going to crash and burn, in my opinion, this year. It's a big reason why I've moved into more classic businesses.
Well, yeah. I could even advise you a lot more on that, by the way. But yes,
we'll chat later.
But there's another part of it that I mentioned, and it's the AI comments.
Oh God!
Let's talk about the AI comments, and I'll tell you how. I will tell you how it started and what I've noticed. So about, was it April or May last year, OpenAI started running beta tests for the bots, for the AI bots
Yeah,
that can
in spring,
run in the
spring,
browser
yeah.
and so on. I know people used scripts with AI comments way before that,
Yeah,
but they just
that's
weren't
manic.
really good, were easily detected, you know. But ever since that, actually another founder that I'm quite close with showed me a bot that he made that literally just scrolled his feed. It would read a post and it would, you know, comment, but it wouldn't just be like a generic comment. It would actually generate something based of like his bank of comments, based on his commenting style and everything. And
Oh, you
that's
showed
when
me
I
this.
knew. That was like
I
6-7
can't
months ago.
remember this. I think I remember this. I
Sorry.
think you showed me something similar. You showed me something similar to this, didn't you? I think I remember this.
And that was 6-7 months ago, and that's when I said, shit.
Yeah.
You know,
I
in a year
actually-
from now, everybody's gonna be doing that. And I've noticed recently it's more and more prevalent. I've seen more and more tools. And here's the funny thing. I've tested this. And what I found is not what people will like. And I have few opinions on that actually. So I've tested the AI comments. Now, most people rage on LinkedIn. If you say AI comments, everyone's, oh no, don't use them, it's bad. You know, I hate them. But what I've noticed is that almost every single successful business owner on LinkedIn already using those anyway. Second thing, just because how how LinkedIn is made is one part of it, and the human nature is the second part of it. Right? Because impressions have gone down, like you said, Stefan, the views have gone down, impressions gone down, engagements going down, unless you pay up for ads. People crave some engagement, right? Because now we're used to engagement. People crave it. So what I've noticed, like people are actually thankful for AI comments because any
yes.
comment is better than no comment to them.
It looks
Right?
better.
It gives them a little bit of a boost. That's one part. So that's how LinkedIn works. Even if they didn't read the fucking post, it still like gives them something. And there's so the first thing I've noticed is most business owners already using them anyway. They complain on one side, they complain in the comments and on the posts, but then they do it anyway. Because, you know, how else are you supposed to stay in the game? Who wants to spend 3 hours commenting a day on LinkedIn? No one. And most of the content, the posts are just trash, same shit anyway. So nobody actually reads most of the stuff.
Neve makes a good point
They've
there
got
in
that
the
side.
comment.
Let me just finish the point, sorry. The second thing is people are actually thankful because now they're getting at least some engagement. But the third thing is from the small sample test that I did, probably about 80% didn't actually notice it was AI.
Do you think that's because the AI is very good, or they're only half reading the comments in their LinkedIn post where they're not fully?
I think there's a part of it.
Engaging.
I think people don't really read that much. AI is getting better as well. But because it's getting better, it's reaching that threshold. Like if you're a techie like me, or you know someone very well and you got a good eye for detail, you will know their commenting style. Like you will notice. But that's very, very small subset of
sometimes you
people.
notice because sometimes proclaimed that it was my assistant commenting on your shit.
Sometimes you notice. And most people don't really notice and they don't know the difference. They don't know the difference anymore. The average user can't tell AI comment from a normal comment as long as, there's some sort of decent prompt on it.
Mhm.
So the way I see it, and with how, Miroslav said the same thing. It still boosts the posts. Same with AI likes. Actually, the AI likes as well. I've noticed so many people abuse that
for a year and a
so
half.
much.
That's been around forever.
But now they're doing it more. It's just more apparent. I've got at least few people in my network that I see like they're just spamming the crap out of that, because I just get like 100 notifications, or in my feed when I log in, I just see this one person liked, and there are posts from like completely irrelevant to the industry. They just like everything. Go on, Stefan.
So what I'm seeing here, guys, is three old fools talking about how life was beautiful back when life was beautiful. And that is a real human trait that any human has. People don't like change, and a lot of people love talking about how it could have been better and stuff like that. I think we should change the narrative a little and start thinking, or even talk about, what do we make out of what we have now? Because that's the reality we are in. LinkedIn won't get back and bring fruitful business as I have experienced in my life. It will be fine. Two of my clients actually are influencers on LinkedIn, getting millions of views on the posts. But they're beyond that. They have recognized the algorithm on how to go viral on their posts, and that's what they're making money on. So the real question is, now we have LinkedIn as LinkedIn is now, like Instagram, like any other social media platform. I even remember, perhaps that was even before you guys were born, when Facebook erupted out of Harvard, and that whole thing where the world became united. And then 5 years later, Facebook was crap. At least from a human connecting level. So now we will be looking at, and we are already looking at, we need to get more. We need to get more views. We need to get more connections in order to get the same presence, and you must feel that in regards to even find founders who even want to comment or reply on LinkedIn. It's insane. I think my reply rate now is 10%, and I'm coming from 100% reply rate, and it's just declining. But it's fine. It's part of the game. The game has changed.
Well, there's a few ways you can take this, because you need to look at it from a perspective, I want to grow my business using LinkedIn. And in that way, in my opinion, you get a very niche demographic that's undersaturated on the platform, like energy services or high voltage or any of the sectors that I typically work in. Or if you want to go the influencer route of, I want to get a huge following on LinkedIn, you're more likely going to have to join some sort of engagement pod to manipulate that, use AI to manufacture and boost your engagement, or buy engagement from existing huge company pages. That I showed you a guy, Alex, who sells that, didn't I? Who sells something like...
He's been trying to sell to me as well. Not sure, Stefan.
Yeah.
Probably been in touch with you, Stefan, as well, because you know how they work. Once you connect with them, they just saturate your whole network.
Yeah, so basically he has about 30 company pages, all with at least 100,000 followers, and he'll sell engagement off of those to boost your posts. It's kind of like modern day PR firms almost. So it depends which perspective you want to take. If you want to go down the still using LinkedIn to grow your business, super niche, and then super niche, non-chronically online industries is how you do it for that way. But to be an influencer, you're gonna have to
for an
buy the
online
engagement.
marketing agency, I will agree with you.
Yes, that's
the one thing to do, and if you don't do that, you will fail, because you are competing with around 100 million Indian agencies and Pakistani agencies, alongside the Ukrainian and Polish and Turkish. I'm feeling that the platform has gone too global.
okay.
Last year, I had not a VA, because I don't like having a bitch. That's how I see VAs. I think it's demeaning.
I love my VA. I love my happy.
Yeah, but
I love mine. She's great.
But it's the point calling them a virtual assistant. I don't like the framework. But she was a Pakistani lady with a niqab. I never saw her face, and I wanted to give her a chance. So she was using my platform, and luckily I had a lot of clients beforehand, because what she achieved to gain from my profile, and I have a pretty strong profile because I have a little experience. If people don't know, I built 15 companies. I have 5 exits and I have 2 bankruptcies. I had $1 billion company, so I've been around on several continents. I have 15 clients now only, but they're on 5 different continents, because that was a goal of mine. So the point is, she only achieved to attract $25,000 in revenues over a whole year time. And after I took over myself, I achieved that within 2 weeks. And I'm not saying that's because she's bad. I'm saying it's because there's a huge cultural difference.
Yeah.
And how people are in different countries. People don't recognize how important it is. And I think that's what's really going wrong in going too global. And anyway, that's also what's happening with the whole world right now. It's fucking crazy. Good luck, America, to Greenland, and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, when things are good, my conclusion on this is, when things grow too global,
Yeah,
they die.
yeah, that's tough. I wanna quickly answer what Owen said. I think there will be heavy focus on in-person events and experiences over the next
I'll give
couple
you
of years.
example.
I feel that as well. Just
I give you a good
because
example that I did for a client last year. It's why I kind of made us realize that you can't be fully online. One of my clients towards the end of last year did sort of like, you know him actually, Alex. He does the safety training in like rail companies, and you know him. So his main prop that he used to use every day in his sessions was like a physical cube that you would like hand out to everyone, like doing the session, all that sort of stuff for the event. So we just bought about 40 of them and sent them. No, we bought way more than 40. We sent it to 40 people, basically. 40 people in 12 different companies. And we ended up getting 3 or 4 good meetings out of that, because it cut through all the noise of just straight cold emails and straight LinkedIn DM. I mean, he already had a reputation anyway, so the cube had some impact already, but it got the meetings booked and it progressed some deals. It's a good bit of pattern interrupt. It's a thing in fighting.
there's
You set a
definitely
pattern and you break the pattern.
that part of the online noise when it comes to business side, but I think there's a big problem on the human side. I think since we got out of COVID. And now with the rise of all the social media platforms, I mean, if we just look a few years ago, TikTok was still just on the rise. You know, LinkedIn was big, but it wasn't like fully global yet. There was Facebook, you know, but like it now it's just crazy. And part of it is that the social media platforms, I don't know the stats. Maybe you can look up some stats, Joe, quickly. See if you can
I'll
find
tell
out
you
how much.
what has happened. We have become so connected now that we disconnected.
Yeah, but I feel like the platforms have grown like so much over the last 4 or 5 years. That's one thing.
Mhm.
It's because
And
kids are growing up with them now. Like my generation of kids were the last ones who didn't have YouTube or Instagram in primary school. Like I wasn't given the tablet, I don't know, when I was 7 years old to distract myself and
How
entertain
old are
myself
you?
all evening.
How old are you?
I'm 23 now.
My son is 22. I got furious when my wife back then bought an iPad to my son when he was 8 fucking years old.
I think I was about 13. I was a bit
I
older.
fucking threw it out. And back then, I think it was 700 pounds. Fuck it. I threw it out. I destroyed it. You are in that generation. You are just not fortunate, apparently.
Thanks for that, mate.
that's savage.
Well, that's shut me up. I don't know what to say now. I've just been shut up on a middle of a live show.
You know, that's part of the growth and all of that, but yeah, part of it is just how much more of the world has gotten access to internet and tech.
Well, Nigeria is. I feel Nigeria is bombarding LinkedIn now. Everyone from Nigeria is coming in. It's quite amazing. And in regards to what Owen said, I totally agree, and that's also what you felt last month, Alex, on the speed networking event. We all crave for human connection now. We've had enough. We've had enough. I remember my post on Christmas Day. By the way, went viral. But stop pitching. People were. I think I got 30 messages on Christmas Day from morons who want to sell me shit. Stop pitching.
It's not great. Like that is poor.
God damn it. Yeah. Oh,
that's a general thing of society as well, though. It's people try and present themselves a certain way because they want to be perceived that way, not actually be that. Like I know this is totally not related to business, but I remember going to Ibiza when I was about 20 years old, like 2022 would have been. I remember going to Ocean Beach nightclub. I mean, that's like not really a nightclub, it's like an outside club. And people there were just trying to get the perfect Instagram photo or the Instagram video for their story. They wanted to appear like they were having fun and not actually have fun. Because that's sort of like the societal norm we're going to end up creating. And that's definitely impacted LinkedIn, where they have to appear a super vulnerable business owner to follow the exact same format to go viral.
And you know what they do in 2026? They go to Ibiza to take a photo in a club and say what it taught them about B2B sales.
Jesus.
I think
evidence social media.
Actually, especially because of what is happening with LinkedIn, I think 2026 is all about getting back to become more human. And all my ventures going forward now are surrounded by that narrative. It's all about connection.
Give us some examples. You want to make things more human? Do you mean in-person events? Do you mean more video style content? Do you mean online events?
Let me give you a good example. The raw speed networking I had where Alex was in, I learned afterwards because I got feedback from most people is that all the Brits, because the rule is for raw speed networking, you cannot pitch, you cannot sell. But what all the British people did as the first question to the other one was, So what do? That's not
Fair.
a fucking human connection. That's measuring you to see if you're tall enough, if you're good enough, if you're hot enough for me to spend time with you, instead of actually saying, how are you? So we are already disconnected in the way we are acting and reacting towards the people we are together with. What's he saying? You don't even have to go there. Nano Banana can create a photo for you, which as yeah, exactly. It's much easier now, Diego. I completely agree with you.
Oh, I just lost a great point.
I see a lot of that on LinkedIn now as well. AI.
I remember.
Just everywhere.
I remember it would have been probably over a year ago now. I was dating, because British girl, I was dating this girl, and she had a list of requirements on her phone that the guy she was dating had to like tick all of them to continue the conversation. And that's what I just thought of when you said, what do you do to make sure that you're good enough for a conversation? That's what came to my mind. She was nuts though. Some of the requirements were so stupid.
So
it was like must have attempted to run at least 2 businesses, must be making more money than me. And I was like, whoa, chill out.
Yeah, and it gets even worse when they get older.
Oh, great. I've got loads of great. I've got something to look forward to. Because she was a bit, because what, I was 22, she would have been 25 or something. And I'm like, I'm only 22, give us a break. From
my heart, I envy gay people.
You know, I can see that. I can see that. Like, if I was gay and I saw someone like me, I'd be like, yeah, I'd love to be with that guy. It'd be perfect.
It's only the kissing and shit that fucks it up.
Yeah, innit? Exactly. But okay, let's change the topic. I don't want to keep talking about that one girl. Someone pick a new topic. Let's go, please. Someone.
No. I was just going to talk a little bit more about LinkedIn since it's the core topic today.
Right, LinkedIn is a dating platform. No, just go on.
It is as well.
No, oh mate, one of my
I just wanted to say about like how the game has changed, and you've noticed it, Stefan. Like, it's just the only way, and because of everything that happened, now I feel like the only way to actually get anything out of business or get even some sliver of real connections on LinkedIn, that's the hilarious part. To get real connections on LinkedIn or to get business, you gotta use AI, you gotta use automations. It's not possible for people to actually use the platform is unusable in its original form anymore.
I agree.
It's just unusable unless you're gonna spend like 16 hours a day on it, which if you're trying to run a business is a bit of a problem because you haven't got any time left to run the business.
Could you tell me what the original platform was like? Because I wasn't around then.
Well, it looked like, as it does now, all the likes and comments were just real. And when people said, congratulations on your new job, it was actually a real person saying, congratulations on your new job. I'm really happy.
So just real people.
Yeah,
and not a marketing channel. It was just real people.
Yeah. And
I do. Yeah. LinkedIn is gone in that format.
That's why I joined Founderstry. I want real connections.
Yes, sir. So in that format, I do agree that it's gone. People aren't gonna in this modern day invest loads of time in something that potentially, and especially a business platform that won't bring their business tangible return. Oh, God's sake, Neve, why say that? That's like... So anyway, but I do believe in niche markets. I do believe in niche markets. You can still succeed and get loads of business from LinkedIn.
Yeah, but you still gotta play the game, right? And I feel like
absolutely.
There's a lot of just misinformation.
I'm
Sorry,
saying
Stefan?
the game has just scaled. That's all that has happened the past year, I would say.
A lot of the LinkedIn gurus and influencers just say, you know, oh yeah, just write some posts and drop a couple of comments and everything's gonna be fine. It's not. Like, you gotta be maxing out your connections every day. You gotta be, you know, either dropping some automated comments or hiring someone to do it.
Can I just mention with the hiring thing? I have a little. This is a little tweak. When you hire someone, because you get 10, we all get 10 different approaches every day with some specialist. He can even be European, whether it's Georgian or German or British or whatever it is. They say, I can book you 20, 50, 100 meetings, whatever. The first thing you do is you go into their profile and you see how many followers they have. Because the fun part, I only think 2% of those who approach me have more than 1,000 connections. How can you book so many meetings when you don't even when you can't even profile yourself and do it for yourself? And the real reason is usually a new account, because they fuck up your account. And then you get banned from LinkedIn, and then you're done with whatever network you have built up.
What was that software that got loads of people banned last year? The one with the bad voice notes that you got blocked by for calling them out in comments, Alex. Prosp, I think it was called. Yeah, Prosp, that one.
Oh yeah, I think it was that, or maybe or Lemlist as well.
Something
I don't
like
think
that.
that.
I just remember I remember that got loads of people banned because it did AI voice notes. India, LinkedIn found out and just deleted all the accounts.
Don't know if that all of them are getting banned. But the fun part is that they're cutting off their own tail, because they also have the same problem as the rest of the world, is that AI is a big game changer on this planet, and people don't really realize it. I also see that actually most people don't even know what AI is. So if you're listening out there, please dig into what the hell AI is, because I remember, because I'm an old fool, back in 2000, back in 1997, 98, when the internet started springing out, most of the people on this planet, they say, nah, it's not something that's going to last. It'll end tomorrow. The same applies to AI. You have most people saying, nah, it's just something. No, it's not. It's really changing the world. And I'll tell you who's probably going to change the world to most right now, and that is actually India. Because the most prestigious thing you can be in India is you can be an accountant, or you can be a web developer. Apart from being a data analyst, what will be the two next jobs that evaporate? Two of my clients on two different continents are building an accountant AI that does everything automatically. You have Lovable as a beautiful example, and all the others. And most importantly, I heard yesterday that we have now reached plus 40% of the code that is written into the LLM models are written by AI itself.
Yeah, it's crazy time. Which actually brings me to some of the other topics we had. Jerry, you want to pick a topic, or?
You know more about it than me. You start the conversation, mate.
Right. Talking about NVIDIA, at the most recent CES, NVIDIA revealed a new Rubin platform, which is the successor to the Blackwell architecture. But the reason I wanted to talk about it is because how quick that actually happened. So normally all of those. So this is the one. For those who don't know, this is the AI chip that basically powers probably 90% of the world's AI. That's what made NVIDIA it's like 5 trillion now, 6 trillion. I can't even keep track anymore. Dollar company. So Blackwell was only the big one a year or 2 years ago. Normally these chip changes are on like a 4-year, 5, 6-year timeline because it's enterprise tech, right?
Mhm.
They've just announced a new one. It arrived over 6 months early. So a question here is AI scaling so fast that we're making the old hardware obsolete too quickly? Like, think about all of those massive companies that just invested all of those billions in the infrastructure. All of that is already out of date. Where is this going?
Well, hopefully it's going to be recycled, because you have a lot of silicium, which is something we don't have a lot of. I would hope the answer is recycle. You also have Microsoft that has built a processor. They have, I think it's 1 or 2 they are testing out right now. What the hell do you call it?
Yeah, they acquired Intel as well, isn't it?
That processor alone has the power of 1,000 times the processing power the whole planet has. So when you're talking about scaling out, this is insane. This is one chip. One chip. Of course, it's huge. Humongous huge, but it's not that huge. But it's processing that can process 1,000 times what we already are doing now. That's one computer. Now imagine when that comes down to a phone, that will happen in 7 years, because that's what has happened always. And that Moore's law, and I think the real problem is people don't recognize that the world develops, and that pace is insane. The real problem we have,
just gone up. It's just gone up crazy, like,
and
it's not slowing down.
I believe I wrote a book last year, and that was the best drug for me to write a book. So I started writing 4 books simultaneously now. I just love it. One of my books is called, because I'm of Polish heritage, is called Dear Agi. Agi is the most common sweet name for a girl in Poland, but obviously is also artificial generative intelligence, because I see it not with this generation of LLMs, but the next generation of AI, we will reach super intelligence. And we're going to be fucked. I would even say, because when you think about AI, when you reach super intelligence, would the Aggie, now I'll call her, would Aggie even tell us she has reached super intelligence? Because if I was super clever, the last thing I would do is tell people that I'm that clever. That's quite mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's scary. I've watched a documentary on that recently, and there's a big research paper on that, which is very interesting. I can't remember what it was called, but I don't know. On one hand, like, I see the progress that's happening, and on the other hand, I see how dumb AI is and how it lacks any ounce of common sense, no matter how much well you prompted.
God,
Yeah,
am I
that's
the am I the referee now? I'm the referee now.
Go on, Alex. Doesn't that
Like-
apply to humanity as well?
Yeah, fair. Good reply.
That's true.
So it's
That's
just going to
true,
be
but
this.
it's like a different level.
What do you mean?
It's
Do
like
you
a
mean
different
in the
level
sense?
of,
Do you mean like AI doesn't understand social cues yet? Is kind of what you're getting at.
I think it just doesn't understand context, but that might be so. So here is my crazy theory.
Hmm?
I think it's on purpose. I think the companies are dumbing it down on purpose. All the AI platforms, they're so lovable. They're making it bad on purpose, because why should they get your work done in 10 prompts if you can take 150 prompts and spend $1,000 instead of spending $20 to get the same work done? Because I don't believe that with the progress they've had over the last year or two, it's still this stupid.
No, AI's gotten much better in 2 years, mate.
Yeah, but 2 years ago when we had a ChatGPT 3.0, we were amazed. Now every time when the fourth model came, people started saying, "Hey, it's more shit than the third generation." Now the fifth came, it's more shit than the fourth generation. And I'm like, seriously, no, it's the common narrative where when the models come out and it's like, guys, are you stupid? And most of us are, including myself. The point is, it's a new tool, and you can't compare the two tools and how you use them. It's a new way of using it. It's like saying, I used to have a hammer and now I have a sledgehammer, or now I have a bulldozer. Oh, it's not like a hammer, it's a bloody bulldozer. It's something different. And then you have the whole hallucinating part of it. Oh, it's hallucinating. Excuse me, isn't the human race hallucinating like crazy? In general,
wisdom.
I believe, and people are not talking about it, but I believe artificial intelligence has already reached human intelligence.
No, I'll tell you, I actually agree with that, because I remember someone I used to work with made a LinkedIn post late last year saying how to like AI proof your business and your job and your career. And and all the comments were people saying AI will never replace me, AI will never replace me. It feels like people are in denial about what's actually going to happen or what could happen. In my opinion, if I'd have stayed, if a year and a half ago I'd have stuck in generalist, chronically online industries, AI probably would have replaced me by now. Or if it didn't, it'll be in the next 12 months. Mm-hmm. So the way people respond to AI right now, I think that shows the level that AI is smarter than the normal human, or at least close.
I think there's a lot of limitations as well, because
really, where?
Like in terms of applying it online, right, and to work and so on. The one thing that we forget. Sorry, I wanted to read Skippy's comment as well. Need to invent artificial wisdom. I agree, but I think a big part of it is most. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I used to deliver workshops on this. Right, most communication is non-verbal. Mm-hmm. And that's the communication that AI struggles with. So I think the problem that we're seeing now is not necessarily the lack of capability, but a lack of the translation layer. We communicate completely different to the machines.
Of course.
That's the biggest bridge to gap right now, right? Because it sees zeros and ones and algorithms, and it can do amazing stuff with information, whereas we don't speak in algorithms, we speak in emotions most of the time.
I agree with you in that sense right now, but you weren't raised on AI slop or screens or social media or anything along those lines. Those next generation being raised on this AI slop, that's when they can communicate to them, when they become the main buying demographic. I think that's where that argument sort of falls down at that point.
I think there's now I'm getting deep. Sorry, because I love this conversation. One thing we are forgetting is we are 8 billion people on this planet right now, and it has been scientifically proven now that we will be something in between 11 and 12 billion people on this planet. And if you look at the capitalistic system, I'm an economist, so I know a little about it only. Then growth is inevitably declining. Everybody's struggling more and more and more and more, and no one can do anything about it because the growth of the populations are declining. Actually, it started declining already back in 1986, and I find it quite fascinating to think about when you put AGI into the model, because in reality, I only see AGI as the actual savior of humanity going forward 10, 20, 30 years. Because we won't be working. The robots are already doing, I remember when I doom scrolled last night, I saw in China, 2 police guys walking around with their police robot. That, just to show, of course it couldn't do all that shit, but just to show that this is gonna happen. This is RoboCop. We're going.
That was actually a second part of that news article. Apart from the new chips, NVIDIA is actually producing now robots as well, the new models, and Google and Hyundai are already using these in manufacturing and logistics, and are starting to roll it out on a mass scale. So the impact on that over the next 12, 18 months is going to be absolutely crazy.
I've got a question, because obviously you've done a lot of business consulting, and a lot of AI coaches have popped up in the past 6 to 12 months. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think in the future that could buy into the business consultancy market?
I think most people that say they are AI coach are full of shit and they don't know anything about AI.
I mean, like AI business.
They read a ChatGPT cheat sheet, prompt sheet, and they suddenly
like the
think
AI
they're engineers.
I mean, AI given business coaching is what I meant, because I remember you speaking about that once. How, like,
I would actually say, let me put it this way. I think an AI coach is almost much better than most coaches I have met on my path. Can you display Owen's last comment that he came? Because I have a good answer to you. The last one, Owen says he's a designer and he doesn't think AI will replace him. Already last year in January, Meta announced that they ran tests, and that is the reality, that AI-generated ads are now converting better than human-created ads. So I wouldn't agree with you, Owen.
I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why, because I've watched a really interesting YouTube video on that as well. And that's everybody's talking about AI slop, but it's not just AI slop. We as a humanity are just turning everything into slop.
Yeah.
if you think about like basic day-to-day stuff, right? They've made an excellent point. Like, what do we eat? Do we go out and have meals? No, we get shit microwave meal, fuel, liquid, fucking disgusting. Like that's what we have now because like we don't care. We're trying to optimize everything and just every bit of our life. We're losing. Most humans are just like losing touch with like a real feeling and like we said, real connections to anything, not just human to human, but to their
No, that's
everyday
true.
life.
I think
Everything's just becoming more generic.
100%.
Clothes, right? How we make stuff.
Yeah.
Everything's just generic.
In 20
I think
years,
you go. Sorry, mate. You go.
in 20 years, we won't have to make anything. We don't have to make food. We don't have to do anything. I think the only actual real asset, and that goes especially for you, Joe, because you're young, is that
Thankfully.
He's
No,
gonna
that-
retire after the first show. He's like, fuck this, don't want to talk about this anymore.
no, that is in the end the last asset we can have as humans is the leadership role, because everything is going to be very generic. So if you don't have anyone to follow, you'll be lost. So I would skip, if I was in university or anything like that, I would skip all of it and I would focus on becoming a great leader, because we already see it now. Listen, Facebook, Meta, Google, all of them are firing people in tens of thousands constantly. Nobody's talking about it. You know why they get fired? Because they're obsolete. I live in London. And there's something called Granary Square around King's Cross. That's where Meta and all the big guys are. A couple of years ago, it was huge and vibrant and energetic. But then suddenly, 10,000 people disappeared from the square because people got fired. So I encourage people to become leaders, not only leaders of humans, but also leaders of agents.
I think Owen makes an interesting point there, if you want to bring that up on the screen, because Porsche over Christmas released an advertisement that was all hand-drawn, like the total opposite of what you'd expect, AI slop almost. Like it was hand-drawn like a prime Disney animated movie, and that went super viral in one of the best marketing campaigns of last year. So I do think even though most AI designs will outperform human, there is a market there in truth where the absolute top human designers can still succeed and smash it. I think that Porsche ad proves it.
And is there such thing as bad marketing?
Yes, there is. I can think of multiple bad examples off the top of my head that would.
If it goes viral for being shit and it gets a lot of views, hey.
that's it. You can have like the CEO thing we were talking about yesterday with the girl at the Coldplay concert. That was terrible marketing for their company.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But then you could also argue, like my last point, you could argue that's just human history. Like if you ever go back and look at human history, it was the top people, the ones who survived and lived long lives. But so the AI killing the bottom 20% or the bottom 50% even, you could argue that's just human history. But it's the different form. It used to be war and famine. Now it's AI, just a different form.
Well, we'll see. If you haven't
definitely
watched,
interesting time to be in.
Absolutely, that's what it is. And I'm from a generation, Gen X. When I look at human history, we are the luckiest, and I'm happy to be part of that. We are the luckiest generation on the planet ever, because we had the greatest growth, and we're gonna experience the greatest decline as well, I believe.
Collapse.
Yeah, collabs. It's going to be interesting to see where we go.
You've
So what was
climbed
the
the
next topic
mountain,
you were
and
going to
now you
bring
get
up?
to go all the way down.
Yep.
Speaking of big growth in AI, 11 Labs also saturated market and is shifting strategy in two different ways.
I
They're
used to use
sending
11 Labs.
engineers to companies to help them adapt AI on mass scale. But the more interesting topic is part of their new monetization strategy is to rent influencer voices.
That's because that was scary.
You can buy a famous voice and use it for your company.
No, that's because I remember seeing an article about Paramount, the big studio, using AI to like make more Audrey Hepburn movies late last year, and that's the weirdest thing ever. You're gonna use AI to recreate dead people and make new films. That's terrifying. That's weird. I'm sorry. That is strange. I think that's the same with 11 Labs as well.
Yeah. By the way, Owen, you mentioned larger enterprises. I think in 10 years' time, any enterprise, any huge enterprise, can fire 90% of all their staff because they're obsolete, because everything will be automated, and it's already happening.
I have a really hot take about staff in most enterprises. I don't think that's because AI will be more efficient or that it's better in many cases or that it can potentially be cheaper at some point. Right now it's still not, but as someone who's managed large teams, a lot of employees are just not very good at their job or they don't care.
And when I worked in my 9 to 5 job, I realized after I left it, I was the only person on the whole marketing team who did anything. No one else did anything.
Why should they?
Even last year when the first
I
AI started
I was
going
young.
in,
I didn't know any better at the time. I thought I actually had to try every day. Turns out I was wrong.
even at the very start when the first AI models started replacing like customer service agents, right? That was the first industry that was just wiped almost instantly. The moment I rang one of my banks to sort something out and I heard AI voice that, to be honest, sounded really good already back then. I was actually happy. I got an excellent reply and all my problems solved within 60 seconds. And every single other time of trying to speak to a human rep
You
just
mean
wasn't that
Indian?
great.
Everything has been outsourced to India in the UK.
I do suppose an AI is better than hiring someone from a third world country to do customer facing or customer speaking roles.
It's already there.
So yeah, I think it's not
But
even
then,
so much about the cost. It's just better. It's just better than most people. So
but at
if I
that
have to
point,
give anyone any tip, if you don't want to be replaced by AI, don't suck. Get better at what you do.
but
Just
I was
get
having
better.
I was having this conversation late last year with an old client, and he was comparing the AI boom, if you want to call it that, to the Industrial Revolution, where a bunch of jobs you'd never even think of just get created because of this massive revolution. So if AI replaces 90% or whatever percentage of current jobs, surely those same number of jobs will be created just in something we've never thought of yet related to AI.
There's a lot of that as well.
Because society just wouldn't function if it didn't.
Well, that's the interesting thing to watch, isn't it, Stefan?
What?
That's the interesting part to watch because, like I say, it's taken over a lot of jobs, but it's also created a whole lot of jobs.
Well, has it?
But there's gonna be a point where,
It's just skewing. It's skewing.
yeah,
Yeah. No, it's just for me. It's just an amazing time to be in. When I'm saying I'm the Gen X and I'm from Europe, we didn't experience anything. We had the worst thing we had in Western Europe was Yugoslavia happening back in the 90s. That's the only war we had looked at. That's the only crisis we have looked at. Everything else has been around us and far away from us. This is the first time Western Europeans actually start to feel the pain. And another thing, because if you take the States, they are already feeling the pain. That's why Trump comes in and all this shit. I was involved in a venture a couple of years ago with someone who were trying to build nursery homes because it's a great business. Because now people in America, the average American needs 3 jobs to sustain a life. 1 job to pay the rent, 1 job to pay for the food, and the 3rd job to pay for the nursery home in order to sustain the first 2 jobs. That was not supposed to happen in 2024, 25, 26.
No,
We were supposed
it
to be
wasn't.
rich.
yeah,
So it is.
it's
But we
crazy.
ended up
Western
here.
Europe, especially, like you said, is just. I don't envy younger generation right now. On one hand, I do. If you're like very proactive and I think if you're like the top 1% of young generation, you have more opportunities than ever.
Mhm.
For everyone else, it's tough. It's a tough place to be.
Mhm. And so it's simply nice to be on a call with a young dude who chose to become a founder and start his own business, because I think that is something that is going to evolve a lot over the next 10 years, but not because it's fun, but because, as Joe found out in his late full-time job, nobody's doing anything, and if you don't do anything, you'll get sacked, and because the AI will detect that you're not doing anything. You can't hide anymore.
AI will become the performance analysis member of staff, and they'll get rid of people who aren't. God, that's scary. They'll be logged in the back of your laptop saying what you spend all your day doing.
It's amazing.
Speaking of AI, there's actually another side of this topic. So let's focus on this last topic for today. And there's quite a few reports from tech news about the death of AI Series A. Data shows that whilst it's easy to get pre-seed and seed funding for AI startups, many startups are actually failing to reach Series A because they lack a sustainable business model. A lot of investors are now suffering AI fatigue and are demanding to see real revenue, all proprietary data, not just a clever use of a model. So the question for the topic is the hype phase of AI over?
Oh, the market's
We're
oversaturated.
just covering the topic.
The AI SaaS market is oversaturated 1,000,000%. Like, I realized this late last year when I looked in my spam inbox with one of my mates who also a business owner. I looked in his spam inbox, and there was 20, 30 cold emails from some various SaaS product or AI product with almost identical copy. Then we'll check on their websites, and they all had the same Framer AI website template. Now, the identical marketing, similar pricing, almost identical sales copy, and they just blend into one another. And there's 1,000 products like that on the market. So there'll be a lot. I think we've hit the number of companies that we can have, but now the worst ones, the bottom 20, 40% or whatever, will crash this year and will die 100%.
Actually, one of my client is doing exactly what Owen is stating. That's quite funny. It's not only AI in its LLM sense, I believe, has reached its limit. The next thing that's going to happen in a couple of years is we're not going to work with AI as we know it, because you'll have an AI that can do anything. I need a CRM system. 5 minutes later, you have a CRM system. I need an ERP system. I need to connect it all. You know what? I need a full system that can run my business. 15 minutes later, you have it. I need data in it. You have it. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is that the whole investment arm is broken as well. When in UK alone last year, there were 85% less deals made in the investment space in regards to angels, pre-seed, seed, and Series A. 85%. Nobody talks about it, but a lot of people are struggling to find people who has money. But the reality is that the VC model has failed now. What I mean with that is that the family offices, the ones who actually have the money, they don't believe in the model any longer. And that means, I think it's 80-90% of all those VCs that are in the UK alone. One of my clients did the analysis. They don't have any money because they can't attract investors to their fund. So we are all, and of course, all the VCs are proclaiming, everything is well, and they're starting to brand themselves a lot on LinkedIn and so on, and it's not towards the startups. It's towards the investors.
I've noticed that as well. I've noticed that as well in the last maybe 6 months. A lot of people with money are just starting those smaller funds, and they're just forgetting the whole
the sexy
side.
Listen, the sexy thing in family offices these days are to build their own VC arm because they don't believe in the others. But they like to be on the brink of and the verge of the future in regards to what is happening. But they don't believe in the model any longer. So it's a quite interesting life we're jumping into.
I'm not exactly knowledgeable about investments, so I don't really have an opinion on this. This isn't my area of expertise.
I help.
It's absolutely crazy. Stefan knows a little bit, just a bit.
Just a bit.
Been around. But yeah, let's do that as another topic for the next one. I really enjoyed this, guys.
Yeah, it was a good chat. I enjoyed it.
Any other questions from the chat before we finish off for today?
So what was the TLDR of this stream then? What were the big bullet points? In 10 years, there'll be one all-master AI capable of doing everything and making a system in seconds.
I think LinkedIn is going to be an AI platform that's just going to talk to each other. Nobody's actually going to log into LinkedIn anymore. It's just going to be AI talking to AI, selling to AI, and liking each other's posts.
I think the genius,
and you know what? And LinkedIn's not going to care because they're owned by Microsoft, which will run all of the AI. So now everybody will be a paid customer instead of only 60% being premium or paying customers, 100% going to be paying customers, because they're all going to pay for the AI to talk to each other.
The next like $1 billion social media platform will be one that somehow makes it where people can no longer post people can only post things that AI haven't touched. That's the next $1 billion social media platform, 100%. Because AI slop is
I don't agree.
YouTube, TikTok.
I love that part of it. I think the next social media is going to be an actual social media where people connect.
Do people really want to connect? That's the thing. Do people even want to connect?
Yeah.
We had this conversation the other day. Most people say they do, but when given the opportunity to connect, they do it in 5 minutes and then they need their attention span appeased.
Yeah.
Which is what you said one of your biggest issues with Founders Tree was at the minute.
It's a whole separate topic, but I mean, it's always been a case. People saying they want one thing, but they don't actually know what they want. So I think everybody's got just so addicted to social media and everything that when and I urge everyone who's like watching this, try to do like a digital detox for 2 days, 48 hours without your phone or laptop or TV.
You start shivering.
Diego,
No, you physically start shivering. Your entire body panics. It's amazing to experience. It's quite fun.
Diego's asked a good question.
Do you guys think we're in a bubble and will it pop this year? I don't think it's gonna pop this year.
It depends what he means by bubble. If he means bubble in the sense of getting 1,000 new AI products pitching you
I
every day,
think they just gonna triple the prices of every single model, and people gonna complain about it for about 4 weeks, and then they're gonna take it like they always did.
I don't think that's a 2026 occurrence. Because if you look at especially the American sports market, if you look at like UFC or WWE or NFL or whatever, they've got they can't grow any bigger than they already are. So they're just up in the they've built enough trust where they can just maximize that user base because they're the only company who does what they do. But with AI, at least right now, there's hundreds of companies doing something like that. We're a few years away from 3 or 4 companies just dominating the entire market. That's not a 2026 occurrence, in my opinion.
Well, we'll see. In regards to we're living in a bubble, we are always living in a bubble. Human civilization is cyclic. We live in a cycle. It goes up and it goes down. It goes up and it goes down, and it goes up and it goes down, and that continuously has been a reality for at least the past 3,500 years. And I'm pretty sure that's not going to end.
Everything works in cycles. Everything. Everything in sport, everything in business, everything in life. It's a cycle. Even
the day you wake up, you go to sleep.
Founders Tree, God willing.
That's all for that.
Right. It's been amazing having you guys here, everybody who joined in. Thanks, Stefan, for joining us as well.
So what topic are we running with next week then for episode 2?
I don't know. We'll pull something out of a hat.
Nice.
That's the format. If you guys enjoyed the show, follow me on LinkedIn or sub on the YouTube channel. We're doing this every week, 2 p.m. GMT. And every week we're running with a hot topic, plus some business news, and just a random discussion, some guests. Anyone can join. If you want to join on stage, just let me know next time. And on that beautiful note, I'll see you all next week.